Right, good morning, welcome back. Now in the recent series on the XJR, I fitted new control cables, 2 new throttle cables and a new choke cable, and I fitted them straight out the packet, bone dry, without oiling them, and that always sparks off a debate. And that debate is whether or not you need to lubricate brand new cables. Brand new control cables come straight out the packet. Some believe they have a Teflon coating over the wire core, and that itself lubricates the cable when it's brand new. Yes, great, I understand that. The others believe, no, it's metal to metal, and in the end it will rust unless you put some oil in there. I see the merit in that as well. So that is the debate. But today isn't about new control cables, it's about the older ones that have done a bit of mileage when it's time to service them. So having established that it's not an urgent requirement to lubricate them when they're brand new, I think certainly by maybe 10,000 miles on your major service, it's not a bad idea to get some oil down those cables to extend their service life, to make them last longer, because they're not cheap. Now, as we've been doing this on YouTube for 14 years, I have covered most things maintenance at some point or another, and this is no exception. I did make a video just over 12 years ago, published it, put it up on how to free off stuck control cables, and the simple method, and it stands to this day, is hold them upright so that gravity is your friend. Make a little funnel using putty or plasticine or blue tack or something like that. Make a little funnel around the top of the cable and then fill it with oil, and then whiz the cable core in and out, feeding that oil under gravity down into the cable until it drains out the bottom. That video is very successful. I will leave a link to it below if you want to actually watch it. I'm 12 years younger than I am now, so it might make interesting viewing, but that still stands. You can do it manually that way, but here we are, fast forward 12 and a bit years on, there are now products available that can do it far better than that and make a better result. So is this a shameless plug for a product? Well, no, I don't think so. I like to bring you products, if I see them, that are cost effective, help you do a job, and save you money in the long run that are actually better than the ghetto fix. And this is one of those. A small device that, unlike most of the others, it uses hydraulic force to physically push the oil through the cable shroud, forcing out any blockages, any corrosion, any dust and gunge, and leaves nothing but clean oil in its path. And this is how it works. Now, if I take this apart, it will probably become apparent straight away how it works. There's a little rubber or neoprene washer that comes with it as well. 2 steel ones, and then in the other end there's a screw down plunger with a rubber O-ring seal, like that. So that's the whole tool in exploded view. Now it might look obvious just by looking at the tool disassembled how to fit the cable into the bottom of it, but just in case it's not, and we all like a visual, here's how it goes. All right, take the big knurled collar, pass that over the cable first, and then these split washers, pop that over and down, and then the neoprene washer, which has got a gap in it, just split that open, pop it over the cable and down, and then take the other split washer over the top, and that holds it. And as you can see, screwing that lot into the bottom of this tube is going to squash that neoprene washer, expand it, and create a hydraulic seal both on the outside and on the inside around the cable. Now this collar won't immediately screw all the way into the body because cables come in different thicknesses. If you've got a thin bicycle cable, it's going to screw in a bit further as it compresses the neoprene washer more. If you've got a fat cable, maybe thicker than this, it won't even screw in that much. As long as it screws in and it locks that cable in place, you've got your hydraulic seal, and that's all you need. Now at this point, the instructions for the device tell us that with the cable locked in place, we then fill the chamber with, and I quote, the required lubricant. So let's talk about what that would be. So the required lubricant, as stated in the instructions, that would be something like a light machine oil, something like a 3-in-1 maybe. If you haven't got any of that, or you haven't got any dedicated cable oil, you might have some fork oil on the shelf already. We've all got a bottle of old oil that we haven't used it. Oh, there it is. That's 10 weight fork oil. That will do for the job perfectly. There we go. Now, again, in the instructions, it just states, fill up the canister till it's about 20 millimeters from the top. Give you space for the plunger. There we are. And just screw the cap down to the bottom of the plunger. Pop it in the top and screw that in place. Not have to be too tight, that's fine like that. And we're ready to go. And then quite simply, all we do is screw the plunger down, which will force the oil through the cable shroud till it comes out the end. And there it is already. Look at the colour that's coming out, absolutely filthy. So it's physically washing the crap out of it at the same time. There we are. Now once that's all the way in, take your cap off. There'll be a bit of suction there. There it is. And just refill for another pass. There we go. Now already that cable's smoother, it's moving nice and freely, and I'm going to give this a good minute or so, working it backwards and forwards to dislodge any deposits that are inside the shroud, get them mobile, and then I'll force another couple of cylinders through it to wash them out and truly get it cleaned out. Check that out, coming out black all over again. Look at the black spots falling in the oil. That's washing all the corrosion out. The state of that. Now it's coming out clean again. Proper oil change. Wow, look how clean that is. Just look at the black sediment in that oil, all from inside the cable. Now this old cable is moving freely now, like a new one. Fantastic, and we know that there's no dirt trapped inside the shroud because the hydraulic force of the oil pushes, as you saw, the dirt out with the oil. So there's nothing inside there now but clean oil, and this cable is good for years to come. Now, just to answer up front, a few people have said in the past, oh, it's all right if you can afford fancy tools to do things. A new cable can be from as little as £10. Yes, it can. You're absolutely right. This pair of cables were £24. That's what I paid for them. They're Patron ones. A genuine single cable from a main dealer might cost you about the same, about £24, £25. You might be surprised to know that's all this cost. This was £24 to buy this tool, which means that the second cable you fix with this, your quid's in, and then every other cable after that you're maintaining and extending its service life for free. So in terms of your financial investment in your motorcycle servicing regime, this is like buying a fishing rod rather than just buying a fish. I know you'll get that. I'll see you next time.